I may have wanted to go all out for Christmas this year. Needless to say, it didn't pan out exactly as planned, but that's okay. What truly matters is me being able to appreciate the people in my life. And thank God I came to that conclusion, because seriously, like, who the f*** would want this?
Oh man! I wanted this!
Well, if there's one thing I love, it's giving my friends my old dumb garbage.
And if there's one thing I love, it's Holiday Grimace Funko Pops.
Damn, I gotta start taking notes.
I can't believe you picked up on my subtle hints! I want a Holiday Grimace Funko Pop!
Yeah, you know, failing to get your friends Christmas gifts for 2 years in a row will really force you to get your shit together the third year.
Damn, I gotta start taking notes.
Alright, who wants to give me my first gift?
I still don't understand why you invited your landlord to our gift exchange.
Oh, come on, we're all friends here, aren't we?
Landlords don't make friends. They intimidate their tenants until they bend to their will. Now somebody give me a present.
Here, this really reminded me of you.
Where the hell did you even get this?
Craigslist is a f***ed up place.
I got you, buddy.
No way.
A McRib?
Been saving that all month for you. Good thing is, it probably tastes just as good now as it did 4 weeks ago.
Best Christmas ever.
Don't worry, Antonio. I didn't forget about you, no matter how hard I tried.
A lease renewal?
A 1-year lease renewal.
Your gift to me this year was the prospect of not evicting me for 12 months?
No, you also have the privilege of paying me in that time.
Lucky!
You know, I just want to say, without the promise of this gift exchange, I wouldn't give 2 left shits about any of you.
I wouldn't even give one.
I like presents.
Don't you guys think there's more to this time of year than just giving things to each other?
What else could this time of year possibly be about? I'm a landlord, not a charity.
See, that right there is exactly the problem with Christmas nowadays.
I smell monologue.
Oh, sorry, that was my bad.
Can we just get this over with? I have work later.
But it's Christmas!
I thought it was Thursday.
Well, what better day than a Thursday to bitch about consumerism?
Damn, he's right.
Christmas time.
Boo!
Each and every year, Christmas comes and goes, and it sure does. You know, for many folks out there, the holidays are a fairly pleasant time of year, which means the attempts of every company on the planet to manufacture that pleasant feeling are working. I mean, all these stores always go hog wild with their Christmas decorations, and I swear to God, I think they start doing this earlier every year. Hey, I understand the urge to rush into the happy-go-lucky parts of this time of year, what with seasonal depression creeping in and whatnot, but for me, I feel like extending the celebration kind of devalues the charm and distinctive feel of Christmas. Translation: can we at least wait until December to do this? What a great opener to this fun holiday discussion. Next, I bet you're gonna expect me to launch into a 10-page long diatribe about Charles Manson's history of murder. Well, joke's on you, wise guy. I only have 9 pages worth of that. Listen, of course I have an affinity for Christmas and the holidays as a whole, but that affinity always seems to exist alongside a sense of stress, skepticism, and most prevalently, ambivalence. Damn, is this what getting older is like?
Now it is.
Cynical as I can be when it comes to the holiday season, I can't deny that this time of year, what with all the various Christmas-themed media, decorations around town, even the overplayed music, it all fills me with a sense of joy and nostalgia that I can't really derive from anywhere else. It's the only instance in which walking into a Walmart can make me feel anything other than melancholy. But with all this manufactured holiday cheer comes a caveat, a burden, if you will. And that burden comes in the form of a reminder. It's time to get gifts for your loved ones.
Ew! Oh.
Gross!
Wait, isn't that what we're doing right
What
now?
the f***?
Yes, one of the biggest and most emphasized traditions of the holiday season is gift exchanges, whether that be amongst your family, your friends, your dog. It truly is the perfect time of year to justify how superficial we all are deep down inside. Of course, Christmas is not all about giving gifts, but you'd be kidding yourself if you acted like it wasn't a pretty big part of the season. Just because you're not into it doesn't mean everyone else shouldn't be.
It's the same sentiment I have about fetishes.
On a surface level, it's a wonderful thing. The whole point of this tradition is to fabricate a positive feeling amongst you and your loved ones, all out of the purity of every individual's heart. The intent of this practice is so wholesome, much like how the intent of the shotgun is to protect myself. The holidays are supposed to be a happy time, and getting to express love for everyone you care about via these gifts is the culmination of that notion of happiness. How can you go wrong with that? It's no secret that the holidays and the practice of giving gifts come with their own set of trials and tribulations, and clearly there's no better time than the holiday season itself than to get them off my fucking chest. Oh, this is something I think about a lot, both during Christmas and throughout the year in general. This might be a little controversial, I don't expect everyone to share my sentiments exactly, but it's a relevant conversation. So yeah, let's get to the bottom of this. Why am I so miserable? Well, to answer that, I will ask you this. What are you even supposed to give someone for Christmas? Well, that's the beauty of gift giving. It can be anything. And when I say anything, I mean it. You do not want to see what I'm holding right now. Normally, you're going to want to find a gift for somebody that you think they'll like. There's a reason you spend 364 days out of the year getting to know people. It all leads up to this. Well, this isn't their birthday, but that's a whole other can of worms.
It was a can of worms.
Since every person you know is different, there isn't obviously a set algorithm to determine what gifts would be the most ideal for each individual, much to my dismay. So when contemplating a gift, you mainly have to consider what you know about them, what they've expressed interest in, what you think they'd like, or just like the vibes, you know? That might seem like more than enough information to go off of, but even then, picking out the right gifts still isn't always easy. You may think you know someone like the back of your hand, but I mean, have you even really looked at the back of your hand recently?
That's infected.
I'd argue that just because you know someone well as a person, it doesn't always equate to knowing what they'd want in a gift. A person's interests aren't always in line with tangible items. And this applies to non-tangible gifts as well. You might have someone that wants nothing more for Christmas than to be relieved of all their student loan debt, but like, how the hell would I be able to guess that? Especially in a given moment, a person isn't always going to be able to spell it out for you, and you can't possibly read someone's mind.
You want the sweet release of death.
I stand corrected.
The point is, thinking of gifts can be tough, especially as you get older. You can hand most kids a used napkin and then find a way to have fun with it. As for adults,
What the actual
I find that as you and your loved ones get older, it becomes harder and harder to come up with gifts to get. Mainly because as you get older, your interests tend to become more elaborate and thus more expensive. Or you just already have most of the things you would have wanted. And a lot of times, even if you do know of something your loved ones want, who's to say they won't just buy it themselves? And hey, some people are just better at coming up with gifts than others.
Why did you put this on me?
It's for the visual metaphor.
But I imagine that across the board, and speaking from firsthand experience, the stress of trying to think of gifts can lead to a lot of overthinking and second guessing. Because you also got different types of gifts, right? You got big gifts, small gifts, edible gifts, sentimental gifts, homemade gifts. God damn, I just wish someone would give me the gift of a bullet in my fucking head.
'Tis the season.
There's the whole internal debate you gotta have about whether your gift should be luxurious or practical. On one hand, it's an opportunity to get your loved ones something they really need and they can get use out of. But on the other hand, it's a fucking gift, so you might opt to get them something they want that they might not be inclined to get for themselves. What about homemade gifts? Yeah, they're usually sweet and very personal, but what if the person doesn't like the gift you made? They're obviously not gonna wanna hurt your feelings, so they're not gonna tell you that you suck at making gifts and you robbed them of an actual store-bought present.
Don't worry, I would tell you.
What about stocking stuffers? I don't fucking know. And then you got gift cards, right? Oh man, don't even get me started.
This isn't you getting started?
I mean, the whole point of a gift card is to be a gift, but they feel so impersonal. And on top of that, they restrict the person getting them into only being able to spend that money on specific stores, which at that point, you might as well just give them cash, which feels even more impersonal. But hey, this might all be putting too much pressure on getting the right gift, because at the end of the day, who cares what you get someone for Christmas? See, everyone likes to preach that it's not about whether or not the person actually likes the gift you're giving them, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, sure, keep telling yourself that. I feel like a lot of people spout this out, but when it comes down to it, I don't trust that they actually completely believe in it. Like, yeah, okay, I put a lot of thought into this piece of literal dog shit I got you for Christmas. I sure hope you like it.
Oh, what? No gift receipt?
Like, obviously, there's a certain quality to the gifts we receive that we'd like them to have, and I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that. It doesn't make us superficial, it just makes us human. And if you're really trying to claim that you don't care about the quality of the gifts you get, well, aren't you just the most noble fucking guy anyone's ever met?
Here, you deserve this more than he does.
Hey!
Look, I agree that when it comes to giving gifts, the whole idea that you even put enough thought and effort to get someone a gift at all is what makes the gift special. I totally understand that that is what people mean when they say it's the thought that counts. But I still don't think it's unreasonable to feel pressure about it. Obviously, you're gonna want to ensure the gift is something desirable. Otherwise, it's like, okay, buddy, why did you get me this?
Because I love hating you.
At the end of the day, giving someone a gift is supposed to be a nice gesture, and part of that nice gesture is making sure the gift seems like a gift. Because if you're really trying to claim that you'd gladly accept any gift just because it's the thought that counts, trust me. You don't want to say that about my thoughts. I think it's silly to act like the gifts themselves don't matter at all. Because to me, if you're getting someone a gift just to get them a gift, then it's not truly a gift, you're just filling a quota. I think the holidays are the one time of year when this concept is at its most egregious level, mainly due to the emphasis put on this practice. I mean, you got all these advertisers preaching to the masses that, oh, Christmas is coming up, you better head on down to our store and get your shit together.
They're right.
But like I said, it's all manufactured. There's no actual reason for anyone to feel this way other than that's just how it's been historically. It's all a mind game, man. But alright, enough about the gifts themselves, because before you can even consider that, you gotta decide who you're even gonna get gifts for. Now, this is obviously going to depend on who you are, but I'd say your immediate family is usually the most straightforward choice. I mean, I gotta figure out some way to thank my mom for giving birth to me. But then you got like the weird offshoots of your family that you usually visit specifically for Christmas, and it's like, cool, I haven't seen you in 11 months, here's a fucking rug. I'd say significant others usually fall around the same camp, usually above or below, or somewhere in the middle. Just a little yearly reminder that you actively didn't get divorced yet. But Antonio, what about your friends, I can hear you saying?
Does he know he's talking to the wall right now?
This is where things can get tricky, because oftentimes, if you have a handful of friends, there are probably going to be ones that you know better than others, and thus friends that you would feel more inclined to get a gift for. But if you pick and choose who you're giving to, you run the risk of making others feel left out. But you can't possibly include everyone in your life, and even if you're able to, you still gotta figure out the logistics for each person, like how much to spend on their gift, which will make them even more ripe for comparison.
I think the only solution is to just not have friends.
Oh, you're on your way there, buddy.
All of this stacks up quick. You can't help but reconsider if all of this is even necessary. Like really, do I need to get a gift for my third cousin? He only gave me the one kidney. But okay, let's consider the possibility that you finally thought of that perfect gift for that one special person. Where do you go to get the gift?
Hell!
The prospect of going shopping during the holiday season is just something you come to expect nowadays. I mean, the holiday season and the spending season are basically synonymous at this point. And all these companies are well aware that the holidays mean more sales, so they play it up and appeal to the masses' inclination to do everything at the last minute. Consumerism loves Christmas, almost as much as it hates humanity. So much shopping is done right before Christmas, man. Like, my god, I don't even know if I want to see those numbers. I saw the numbers. And I know I'm probably the last person to share this sentiment, but these quote-unquote holiday sales are just becoming more and more of a scam every year. I mean, we all know the pattern. Price something egregiously high all year, raise the price ahead of the holiday season, drop the price back down. As if I'm gonna fall for that bullshit.
Like seriously, do these stores think I'm crazy?
When you're already stressed about the holidays and going last-minute Christmas shopping, you're not always going to be thinking straight, which these companies bank on. So yeah, they're going to want to offer things that look like sales, but are actually you getting ripped off in every sense of the word. But really, what better time than the holidays to mask all this deception with, ooh, shiny Christmas decorations? If you're a company and you're not trying to take advantage of customers by appealing to their love of Christmas to try to entice them to spend money at your store, well, I almost want to judge you for not doing that more than if you did. Like what, you think you don't have to do that to get sales? You think you're that cool? Get the hell out of here! Theming your store around Christmas is a no-brainer. And yeah, it's nice, but it's all to distract you from the amount of money you're spending irresponsibly anyway. And if you thought Spirit Halloween was egregiously expensive, f*** me in the f***ing shit, motherfucking shit, shit. But okay, what about receiving a gift? I mean, that's part of the appeal too, right? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. We scratch each other's backs. It's not creepy until it is. Well, believe it or not, I found a way to bitch about this too. Someone should give me a medal. The act of receiving gifts is almost as scary as having to give gifts. I'm also a fucking pussy. But hear me out, alright? There's some important things to consider when you're accepting a gift, which may go overlooked if you're not thinking about them.
Overthinking.
Of course, this is an extremely gracious privilege not meant to be taken for granted, and I'm not trying to dispute that. but these are big moments for both parties involved. This is someone fundamentally putting themselves in a position of extreme vulnerability on your behalf, all with the purpose of trying to please you. If you give any fraction of a shit about the person you're receiving a gift from, you're going to want to make sure your reaction is on par with their expectations. I'm not trying to claim it's natural to act disingenuous when receiving a gift, but to some degree, you still might be heightening your reaction for the sake of giving them affirmation, and there's nothing wrong with that. You think I'm that excited every time my mom gives me socks for Christmas? Gift giving is supposed to be an inherently positive exchange, so it makes sense that your inclination would be to act accordingly to those standards. But gifts tend to be surprises, so there's always the possibility that, how do I put this lightly? Your gift just sucks ass.
That was putting it lightly. I could have said your fucking gift sucks fucking ass.
Your loved ones can have the purest intentions in the world, but it doesn't change the fact that you have your own tastes and not for homemade mugs. I think the act of faking a positive reaction to a bad gift is something that we've all probably done before, we just don't want to say it out loud. Of course, I'm generalizing, but you get the idea. It would be irrational to expect every gift you get to be a slam dunk unless your dad is Jeff fucking Bezos. But faking a reaction to a gift for one night, that's manageable. Having to keep that shtick up for several years, that's a bit trickier.
I'm not even a mom.
What do you do if you got one or several bad gifts and you just have them now? Well, obviously you gotta keep them, right? They may be shitty, but they're still gifts. And of course you could tie it all back to the whole "it's the thought that counts" argument.
Well, if it is the thought that counts, then my thought is that I should flee the country.
In my opinion, once someone gives you a gift, you are wholly in charge of what you decide to do with it. Sure, it may be something sentimental or made with love. Like I bet the garbage man made that landfill with love. Alright, let's be real here. Throwing out homemade gifts is a pretty f***ed up thing to do. But store-bought gifts? What, am I gonna hurt Walmart's feelings? It's not the most upbeat take on the matter, but I stand by it. When you give someone a gift, you shouldn't expect that they're gonna want it or keep it. It's a gift, it's a nice gesture, but it's not something they should feel obligated to, just as much as you shouldn't feel obligated to have given one in the first place. Now, I don't mean to say that you should throw out your old gifts willy-nilly, but depending on the circumstances, you might find that it just doesn't make sense for you to keep something anymore, and that's okay. I've gotten several video games over the years as gifts when I was a kid, and while I definitely enjoyed my time with them, I did eventually trade some of them away as I got older. It doesn't mean I didn't appreciate them when I got them, but as time went on, I got to a point where I was willing to part ways with them to make room for new experiences that I was a lot more excited about, and the original gift still contributed to the act of accomplishing that goal. Things change, people change. That's natural. What if you lose a gift? Is that some kind of statement against the person that gave it to you? No, that kind of thing happens sometimes. It doesn't mean you didn't appreciate it, it just means you're a dumbass. But it doesn't mean your loved ones won't get offended if they find out you didn't hold on to what they got you. In some cases, they might take it entirely personally.
Well, at least this will be hard to lose.
I don't think it's unfair if, after gladly accepting a gift and showing your appreciation, you decide you want to part ways with it after a while. To me, that's just a natural part of life. But everyone seems to think that this is the equivalent of you spitting in their face, punching them in the gut, and then shooting them in the foot.
And I'd rather you do all of that to me before giving my gift away.
I know this may make me seem like a heartless monster, but when you really break it down, all these gifts, especially store-bought ones, are just more things to clutter our already oversaturated lives. And this sums up why I can't stand gift giving. It may be nice on the surface, but underneath the cute wrapping paper and fuzzy holiday vibes is a world of corporate greed and materialism. Corporate America wants you to feel like this act of giving gifts is essential to the holiday, that we can't possibly go without it every Christmas. But in reality, it turns what is supposed to be a nice day into a completely stressful and overwhelming experience. We've had our fun with it over the years, but I think it's time we all admit that gift giving is a tired tradition that ought to be laid to rest.
And those are my thoughts.
Damn, I gotta hand it to you. You really made Christmas into something depressing.
You know, I thought my uncle's funeral was the saddest thing I'd ever have to endure, but thank God he's not here for this.
As a landlord, I'm already pretty f***ing miserable, so take that into consideration when I say I hate Christmas now.
Well, clearly you don't need us here.
Wait, you're all leaving? Already?
Yeah, you said it yourself. Gift giving is stupid. We might as well just go home.
Giving gifts is what was keeping my friends here? That's so fucking superficial of them! Unless it isn't. Wait! Guys, I think I just had an epiphany.
Oh, I know a doctor that can help you with that.
Maybe I wasn't thinking about this in the way that I should. Maybe there's more behind all of this than my cynical attitude was allowing me to believe. I've been so down in the dumps about gift giving this Christmas that I wasn't able to see the true beauty behind it. Guys, step to the side for a second. There it is. Yes, giving gifts is a big part of Christmas. But it's everything surrounding those gifts that makes the holiday special, not the gifts themselves. Holidays are what we make of them. We don't need to give in to what society and consumerism makes us think we need to care about. We can do whatever we damn well please. And yes, the holidays can be a stressful and costly time, no doubt. But they don't have to be. There are tons of ways to show your appreciation for your loved ones without even spending a dime. You cheap son of a bitch. But if the whole point of this tradition was to make good memories with the people in your life, then it was never about the gifts to begin with. The whole point of this gift exchange was to bring us all together. I realize that now. And I hope you guys can find it in your hearts to stick with me despite all of my negativity.
You know, spending all this time with you guys while Antonio talks our f***ing ears off has really got me thinking. I love you guys.
I love myself too.
You know, Christmas, but also, I with Christmas.
Here, you can have this back. Christmas isn't about gifts. Plus, I think you need it more than me.
I really don't, though.
It's the thought that counts, asshole.
Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to me talk about all this garbage. Thanks for making this Christmas really special.
Before we go, we all have something for you.
Really?
Yeah, we all pitched in and got you something this year.
Something we thought you'd really like.
Wow. Maybe gifts do mean something. Maybe they're not just superficial and overwhelming. Maybe there is value behind them. They gave me half a McRib. Which is still better than a regular McRib because half a McRib is in fact less of a McRib than a full McRib, so I'd call this a win.